Remember a while back, I said that all these are different entities here. You've got x, x squared, x to the power of 3, or y here, y to the power of 2, y to the power of 3. Well, they're all different entities. You can't add these together because they're different, but you can, however, times. So suppose you've got an let's say an elephant here. Sorry, let's say you've got x squared here. I'm going to take this, okay, and then I try and add it to let's say this one here, y to the power of 3. Well, you can't add the two together because this is different from this. Is of a different type. You can, however, times the two. So x squared times y to the power of 3. So these two will just come together and merge to create a new entity. So here you've got x. Well, the two come together to create this. So now this is your new entity. Okay. So this let's say 3x squared y to the power 3 plus y to the power 3. Don't forget there's 1 here, okay? But we don't bother putting the 1 in there because it looks neater without it. So it's just 1. So here you've got 3 lots of this plus this. Here is a plus, so you can't add the 2, okay? You can, however, times the 2. So if someone asks you to times, then you can. So this here, well, 3 times 1 is really 3 because there's really a 1 here. There's 1 lot of something, 1 lot of y to the power of 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. Now all these gets merged together. Here there's no x over here. So you got to get all the x's times together. So there's no x on the right hand side. So you've got to just leave it as x squared. Okay. Here the y to the power 3, and then you've got to times it to y to the power 3. That would be y to the power of 6, because here y times y times y, and then you've got to times it with y times y times y. So that would be 6 lots. So y to the power 6 basically. Okay. So you can time, so things merge together. Let me do a few more examples, then you'll see what I mean. Let's say 2 x to the power 7 plus 3 to the power of y to the power of 4, say. Here you can't add the 2, okay? Because that basically this is different from this. But you can times the 2. So times the 2. So what's this here? Well, the number multiplied with the number. So that will give you 6. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. Now x to the, well, these two they're going to merge together. So x, I've got to merge all the x's on the left hand side, merge with all the x's on the right hand side. But there's no x on the right hand side, so that stays as x to the power 7. And y, I've got to merge all the y's together, but on the left hand side there's no y, so we just have to leave it as this. So remember, this is our new entity. Okay. So if I ask you now, what's 2x squared y to the power 4 times 3x to the power of 5 y to the power of 6? What does that become? Well, I'm just going to multiply everything together. Okay. Remember, I'm not adding. I'm multiplying. So I don't really care. I just merge everything together. So 2 merge it with a 3 becomes 6, and then merge all the x's together. So here x to the power of 7. Okay. 2 lots, 5 lots over here. So here you've got 4 and you've got 6 here. So y to the power of 10, and then this is our new entity here. Okay, so what's 6x to the power of 7 y to the power of 10 plus, let's say this one here, 3 x to the power 5, y to the power 6. Here, the first thing you should be looking at is this plus. You should notice it's a plus. So you've got to make sure this is the same as this. So while they're different, they're two different types. It's like a Liger plus an alligraph over here. They're two different things, so you can't add the two. Okay, but you can, however, times the two. So suppose, okay, right, hang on. Suppose I would ask you to times the two. So times, now if it's a times, then who cares? Everything gets merged together. 6 times 3, 18. Okay, now x to the power 7, merge it with x to the power 5. So times it with x to the power 5, that would be x to the power of 12. And then y to the power of 10 times y to the power of 6. That would be y to the power of 16. So here you've got a new entity. Okay?